Content warning, I'll be talking about rape culture and abusive YouTubers in this video. If you don't want to watch, I understand, but I do think this video has a pretty positive message to it. I'll admit that the first thing I thought of when I heard about YouCoalition's Safer Community Pledge was, how are we going to get the abusive YouTubers to all out themselves and take the pledge and stick to it? I thought that because in my mind, I am sometimes a snarkier jackass than I am out loud. See, I figured the people who are going to take this pledge readily and sincerely were going to be the people who are already safe members of the YouTube community. An abusive YouTuber like Jason Sampson, V1I, or Alex Day might say the pledge, but they would just be lying, right? So what's the point? Well, I thought about it for a little while, and I think there are some good reasons for us to take this pledge. And I'll tell you right after the title card. Happy Monday, Paul Talkers, and I hope that it is a happy one. After all, Malala Yousafzai won the Nobel Peace Prize. DC Comics announced that they're going to come out with a digital comics version of Wonder Woman 1977. So there are good things. I mean, yes, there are also bad things, but let's not think about that on Canadian Thanksgiving. So jokes aside, what is the good of this Safer Community Pledge if the only people that you could trust to recite it, to hold to it, to believe in it, are the ones who would already be being safe and respectful of consent in the YouTube community? What's the point then? I can think of 3 different benefits to this pledge. First of all, the YouTube creators who are taking this pledge, regardless of whether they mean it or not, are in part normalizing consent culture, which is almost the exact formula for fighting rape culture. See, TV shows, books, movies, comics, stuff on the internet, they all have a tendency to have an underlying message that women are just objects to be used for sex by men, and that their own decisions and choices are unimportant. That's rape culture. And you don't have to take my word for it, because you can just search the internet for rape culture and you'll find tons of information about it. But this pledge explicitly says that rape culture is wrong, that consent is vitally important. Whether it's an honest person or a liar who is reciting this pledge, if 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 people hear it and think about it, then maybe at some point down the road, some of those people who have heard this pledge will demand for their consent to be respected. Number 2, we're teaching what consent is in the first place. There are kids here. There are young teens. Maybe some of them think that a lack of a no means yes. It doesn't. Maybe some of them think that if they don't say no, what happens afterwards is their fault. It's not. Maybe some of them think that it's okay to keep pressing for a yes after 5 no's or 10 no's. It's not. And maybe they think that after pressing for a yes 15 times and finally getting one out of exhaustion, that means there's consent. It doesn't. So the words of this pledge help to teach what consent really is. It is an enthusiastic yes only. You can't get one of those after 15 no's. And even if some of the people don't believe in this pledge, some of us really, really do. You can tell by the sheer numbers of people who are going to be taking this pledge. I believe in this. You're going to see tons of us doing it. Lots of us have to be meaning it. And what that means for a fan or a viewer who's in a pressure situation and they wonder, if I say no and I try to report this, will anybody believe me? Will anybody care? This pledge, and all of us who are taking it, we're showing that fan, that viewer who's been under pressure, that we will care and that we will believe them. And for an abusive YouTuber who's considering misusing their power to pressure a fan or viewer into doing something that they don't want to do, what it means for them is that they know we will find out and we will come after them. And we will know that it's their fault, not the victims, not the survivors. So yeah, this pledge is important. The Safer Community Pledge. I pledge that I will always prioritize consent. I understand that consent is the presence of an enthusiastic yes rather than the absence of a no, and that consent cannot be given when someone is asleep or physically or mentally incapacitated. I pledge that I will respect my partner's wishes and that I will not pressure or coerce them into doing anything that makes them uncomfortable. I pledge to stand with survivors of sexual abuse or harassment by showing them compassion and respect. I pledge to never blame the victim for any abuse they've experienced, Sexual violence is never the victim's fault. I pledge to admit when I make mistakes and to apologize for my actions. When someone tells me that I've said something sexist, victim-blaming, or otherwise offensive, I pledge to be open to their words. I pledge to support conversations surrounding sexual abuse and harassment in a way that is respectful of my needs and the needs of those I am speaking with. And I pledge to create safer communities, both online and off. And one more pledge just from me, not from YouCoalition. I pledge for as long as I am on YouTube to keep watching out for and calling out abusive YouTubers like Sam Pepper, like Jason Sampson, V1I, like Alex Day, and like all the others who are listed on the master post of abusive YouTubers, which I'll link to in the doobly-doo below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it on Facebook and on Twitter, reblog it on Tumblr. And if you're not doing it yet, please follow YouCoalition on Tumblr or Twitter. They are doing good work. Find out what they do. It's important. I think this one was a pretty positive video, all things considered. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be even better.